Okay, hello everybody. Frankie here with an update on tropical storm soon to become Hurricane Elsa. It is expected to impact the western coast of Florida with quite a vengeance coming up in the next 24 hours here. There is currently a hurricane warning from Cedar Key Point southward into the Tampa Bay area. This includes Tampa itself. Clearwater area, St. Petersburg, you are under a hurricane warning at this time. Tropical storm conditions are possible around that from the north central part of Florida, a little bit inland from Tampa, and also southwest parts of Florida along the coast down into the Keys. You are under a tropical storm warning. Tropical storm watches extend up towards Charleston, South Carolina, and portions of far southeast Georgia. Currently, right now, here's the radar. You can see most of the convections pretty much right in the center of the storm. The center of the storm is pretty much right there in the center of the screen, right there, right in the middle of the screen. And the thunderstorms are mostly off to the north and the east of the center of circulation, which is a little bit concerning for Tampa. Now, there is a tornado watch box, which is in that the shaded red area from Tampa to just south of Orlando to Naples to Miami and just north of the Keys there. There is a tornado watch in effect for possible tornadoes that could be spawned from this tropical storm. The northeast quadrant of the storm is always a tornadic problem. So that's why I'm concerned about Tampa. As we see those southeast wind shear values just enough to produce those tornadoes. Currently, we have a 70-mile-per-hour sustained wind tropical storm. It's getting very close to the Tampa area. It's expected to reach that area sometime late Wednesday morning. You'll begin to feel tropical storm force conditions early Wednesday morning across the Tampa area. Currently, this storm is moving north at 10 miles per hour, so it's moving pretty slow at this time, but you can see it's going to pick up pace after it makes landfall with a 65-mile-per-hour tropical storm Wednesday evening. And then by Thursday evening, it's a 35-mile-per-hour tropical depression over the Carolinas. And then it could continue into parts of the Northeast, maybe offshore, as another tropical storm Friday into the weekend as it moves into the parts of Canada up there. Here's a Elsa computer model forecast track for the next 3 days. You can see much of it's very aligned. All the computer models pretty much agree. Track from the north central part of Florida to the Norfolk area in Virginia, and then possibly some impacts in the northeast a little bit later this week into the weekend. So you can see much of that's just west of Tampa, and that concerns me that we could see the eastern eye wall in Tampa, meaning strong winds, even stronger winds than 75 miles per hour, possibly higher than that, as we see that eastern eye wall. Along with tornadoes, they could be possible as well. On storm surge, we're looking at about 3 to 5 foot storm surge from Cedar Key to Tampa and points in between there, and also a little bit north and south of that. We're looking at a pretty large area there. Tampa Bay right in the center. Looks like we could see 5 foot storm surge, which will definitely do some damage as this hurricane comes through. And then you can see pretty much along the Florida panhandle, the surge is a little bit lower, pretty much from about 2 to 4 feet. And then from Naples south into the Keys, we're looking at about 1 to 3 foot storm surge, which could cause some minor flooding in these areas. Tropical storm force wind probabilities here through Wednesday morning. It looks like it's going to reach the Tampa area around 2 a.m. and reach a little bit further north of that towards the Florida-Georgia line just after 8 a.m. Wednesday morning. And then by 8 p.m. Wednesday, we could see the tropical storm force winds reaching the Georgia-South Carolina border. So you can see we're in a very, very high probability of those tropical storm force winds continuing. At least a 90% probability. Pretty much the highest the map goes here. So 90 to 100% chance, you might as well say. And lastly, I want to show you a mixture of the wind shear and the satellite imagery, along with the little cone that's shown here to show the track of the storm. Well, right now there's quite a bit of wind shear within the storm and off to the east of the storm here. See all that red? That's high wind shear. And wind shear isn't necessarily good for a storm because it helps tear it apart, but it could enhance the tornado risk. And then we have a little more wind shear off to the west here towards the Texas and Louisiana coast. But if you notice, wind shear's backing off as this thing moves north, and it's not quite as bad. Therefore, the storm could strengthen just a little bit before it makes landfall between Cedar Key and Tampa sometime later Wednesday. So that's all I have. Thanks for watching, everybody.